ResortLoop.com is proud to be sponsored by Joffrey's Coffee and Tea, the official specialty coffee of Disney Parks. You can find Joffrey's Coffee and specialty drinks in the parks, at Disney Springs, or online at Joffreys.com.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
The body of water that you see to the right of our forward motion is the Seven Seas Lagoon. The Seven Seas Lagoon is a man-made creation that took 3 years and the removal of millions of cubic yards of earth to complete.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott. This is ResortLoop.com, the gateway to the magic. Hope everybody's having a fantastic springtime season. I know in Ohio here, it's the sun's out. Things have been warm. Things are opening up here. I'm sure, I've seen things are starting to open up in Florida. Coast to coast, I think things are going to be opening up a little bit more. We'll see how things go. Hopefully, everybody is being safe, taking care of each other, being kind, and as we always say on the show, just be nice. Yes. Anyway, I thought in the show today, as I've been watching some of the things about, how Disney's going to be, Disney World specifically is going to be opening back up, and we just had word this week that Disneyland will also be starting their opening up procedure, kind of following the same blueprint. Everything's kind of following from Shanghai opening up, which is pretty interesting. But it looks to me, I'm just going to talk about this in general, just because I haven't heard anybody else say this yet, but I'm going to throw it out there, that when Walt Disney World reopens, and they start this whole reopening thing, I think for the first month, 2, maybe a little bit more, I think that's going to look more like a Disneyland demographics at the park. I think for the first month or 2 this is going to be open, and I think Disney might be doing this on purpose. They're going for more of a locals park feel. Well, Walt Disney World is going to transition back to normal. I'm not going to say new normal, because this is going to be a long transition of progress back to the time where you didn't need to wear masks. I think, we're going to get there. It might not be till winter, spring, maybe before. We'll have to see how the numbers all fall with everything opening up. But eventually, what a lot of people are calling the new normal is actually just going to be a big transition period back to real normal. I hope that makes sense to everybody. And maybe I'm misspeaking. This is just how I'm thinking. I don't believe anybody's ever going to get used to wearing a mask in Florida in the heat of the summer. That's just me. I don't think anybody wants to do it. I think a lot of people might not be going because they don't want to experience it that way. And if you're spending thousands of dollars on a vacation, you don't want to be uncomfortable even breathing or having odd tan lines. The whole thing, which is, again, why I'm going to go back into this idea that, Walt Disney World is going to aim for more of like a Disneyland feel at first. Right now, I believe with Disney having a lot of their resorts closed, only opening DVC resorts and the campground, and the parks on a limited capacity, with whatever the reservation system is they decide to come up with as this is released. We still don't know how that whole thing is going to work. So I don't think with all these things that they're opening up with, they're actually targeting, the new first-time visitor into the parks. They're targeting the veterans to the parks, the people who, have podcasts, people who are down there all the time, who are DVC owners, who are monetarily, committed and attached to the parks, as well as the locals down there who have annual passes, or, the famous, or infamous, Florida specialty passes. Because those people who are Disney fans all know how the Disney experience is. They know what the park experience is and has been. And so they're going to be a little more forgiving when maybe something doesn't seem right or something seems a little different. They're going to say, there's more of a wait here, there's less of a wait there, it's not as crowded here, it's more crowded there. They're going to say, well, this is just a period of transition. I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to Disney on this one. And right now, it looks like Disney might be limiting the resorts that are open and the restaurants that are open too. So again, if you're, best thing I can come up with to call, a lot of these huge Disney fans that are there all the time are the legacy fans. Fans that have been going for years, like you and me and lots of other people out there who know that, there's a bunch of different Disney hotels, all geared for different tastes and budgets. We don't maybe not mind trying a different resort. Maybe get a little bit of different experience. This might be our excuse to try a different Disney resort, check out the amenities there. And while it might not be our favorite, we'll probably enjoy trying another one. So they're giving us the benefit of the doubt with that one. Same thing with the restaurants. While maybe we can't get into one of our favorite restaurants, there might be another one there we've heard good things about. We'll try that one. And again, I think they're hoping that the legacy Disney fans, the DVC owners, the locals are going to give Disney a bit of a break. Because one of the things that Disney is not going to want to have when the parks do open, and the resorts when they open, a week or two before that, is going to be bad social media press or coverage or posts from people that are there. That's the last thing Disney wants. I think that's one of the reasons they're focusing right now on how are we going to get all this stuff done as smoothly, as conveniently as possible, so our guests have the best experience. Because Disney has always wanted their guests to have the best experience ever. But with social media right now, and all eyes, let's face it, Universal's open. I think SeaWorld's open, or they have a plan for opening up. But when the Disney parks reopen and the Disney resorts reopen, all eyes are going to be on the Diz Twitter, looking to see, how things are going. Is there any good things to report? Because let's face it, you know how the media works. Everybody's going to focus on the bad. So if there's anything bad going on out there in the Disney universe, once those parks opens up, that's going to be the thing getting in the news headlines and all the social media shares and the posts and the likes and all that kind of stuff. So I believe it's safe to say Disney wants the best press possible, which is going to involve having your best fans inside the park, those who know the company, know what they're going to do, and can see what Disney's actually doing to keep the guests safe. They're going to notice the additional hand washing stations, all the different additional hand sanitizer, all the different cast members going around wiping things up. And I notice that just out in public right now, a lot of people washing down or wiping down the door handles into restaurants, the windows of restaurants, counters, the whole thing. So also, with no fast passes out there, no dining reservations right now, and no dining plans allowed on anyone's plans, you want your guests that are in the parks for this initial opening to know the lay of the land. You want the guests to know, well, I can't eat here, I can go over there, and that's really close. I don't have a dining plan, I don't have a credit to use here, but I know where I can go to get a good counter service meal that's not going to cost me an arm or leg, because I know I'm paying out of pocket. Maybe that's more on your mind. The same thing, maybe if you wanted, a certain table service restaurant, and that one's not open right now. You have to go to maybe someplace else, get a different dining service at another table service restaurant that you're aware of. If you're somebody in the parks, and that's your first time there, it's overwhelming. If you've never been to the parks and you're walking in, because you've still seen these people, they're walking in the Main Street USA, they've never opened up the app, they've never downloaded the app, they're looking for the paper maps, they walk in, they make that turn, they see the castle, they're like, all right, let's open the map and see where we want to go. By then, it's too late. Your day, you're behind the 8 ball, and now you're just following the crowds, and you're getting in long lines. And with social distancing, there's not going to be a whole lot of lines. So, again, we don't have any word on we've heard rumors of virtual queues. All that information is going to be coming shortly. Disney has to have teams and teams of people working the desks right now, running simulations, trying to figure out the best way to get all these virtual queues, social distancing, and all that kind of thing going. So this is going to be a very exciting time. And I think with all these changes, if you're going to go this summer and fall, and you're able to travel there how you feel safely, and you're willing to take maybe a little bit of a risk till we get things totally figured out, you're either going to have a not great time in the park and a not great experience, or it's going to be the best experience ever with the limited crowds and the reservation system. This might be the only time, once we do get back to normal, things might be normal at that point, and you might not experience this kind of crowd level and limited wait times at Walt Disney World. This could be one of those times where, 5-10 years in the future, everyone's looking back going, you remember when we were there post-COVID and we didn't have really any long wait times and we could just kind of walk on to things? Good times. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. We're living in a time when people are going to look back and, while hindsight is always 20/20, we're going to look back and say, you remember how they did this and how that was good and how that was bad? I remember when we were there. And you're going to have pictures of yourself with like hand sanitizing stations and marks on the floor. And it'll just be one of those things you'll be showing your grandkids going, this is what it was like when I went to Disney way back in the year 2020. And I've not heard too much on the water parks yet. I just wanted to throw this out there. I would not count on the water parks being open. Not because I don't think laying out and being at the water parks is necessarily bad in itself. They could social distance, lines on the water slides for that kind of thing. However, the tidal pools, that could be a problem because people, once those waves start, there's really no way for you to control kind of where you're going and how far apart you are from everybody. I understand the water's chlorinated. I just don't think the water parks is going to be the best thing to open up right away. And we'll see. I'm not sure if I would open that up maybe even this summer. We'll have to see. That's just my thoughts. I've not heard anything on that. When there's anything announced on the water parks, we'll be sure to mention that here on the show. Anyway, and right now, another reason I think Disney is going for more of a locals vibe is right now they're telling guests that you will need a reservation to the theme park. Not just one at the resort. You'll need one at the theme park if you're going to go to the theme park. So I'm not sure guests would necessarily want to travel 500, 1,000 miles to check into a resort to not be guaranteed park admission to a park of their choice. Now, I can't believe that, honestly, I can't believe that if you have guests in the resorts, you're not going to give them a priority to a reservation into the parks. But right now they're saying it's not necessarily going to be that way. So I think they're trying to filter out the people that will be spending a lot of money to get to the parks. A lot of people maybe have to buy airfare for those who don't live close. So if you live like me, like maybe 1,000 miles away, you probably don't want to maybe risk buying airfare, going down there, paying for a resort, and then you get down there and they say, well, you're going to have to enjoy the resort. Not that that's not a good thing, but be told that you can't go into the theme park now. So now you've spent your your money for your hotel, your airfare down, your airfare back, but you can't get into a park. I think this might be another one of the scare tactics to keep people who would spend a lot of money from being down there saying, I had to spend, $1,000, $2,000 on airfare to get the entire family down here. Now you're saying I can't go into a theme park? Where if you got locals going down there and they can't get a reservation into a theme park, they're like, well, we'll just turn around and go home. Nothing lost for us. Or, say you live, 8 hours away, 5 hours away. No, a decent car ride for you where you don't have to spend the night in a hotel on the way down. You're much closer. Maybe, you'll spend a night off-site at a hotel. Can't get into the theme parks. You're like, well, we had a bit of a drive. We had to spend one night at a, not terribly expensive hotel. We got out of town, no harm, no foul. But again, if you're going to be driving from, up here, maybe 1,000, 1,500 miles away or from the West Coast, and you're going to take, 1 or 2 nights going down where you're going to have to stop at a hotel, maybe right now with everything going on, you're not comfortable staying in a hotel room. So I think maybe, this is also going to filter out people from, maybe even driving to Disney right now until things, ease up a little bit, just because maybe you're not comfortable staying in a hotel, strange bed, the whole thing, where if you can just drive down straight to a Disney resort hotel or a nice resort hotel, maybe you're not quite as nervous, that kind of thing. By doing all this, Disney is managing expectations and kind of filtering out those who might have a bad experience before they even get to the parks or get to their resort. So just a thought. I think maybe Walt Disney World is going to adapt the Disneyland theme of a locals park for the most part. At least opening up till they get the ball rolling, get all the restaurants open, all the resorts back open, till they can actually have a good idea that, we're officially back. We're going to start airing our commercials, telling everybody to come back down here because we're ready. And those commercials are going to happen. They're going to be the most heart-wrenching, heart-tugging commercials to get you and your family down there. And trust me, by then, everyone is going to be ready for a wonderful Walt Disney World vacation experience. And if you're looking for a wonderful Walt Disney World resort experience and theme park experience, look us up over there at ResortLoop.com. We'd really appreciate to help you out. Have a wonderful Walt Disney World family trip or a couple's trip or honeymoon. Anything at Disney World, we can help you out. Also, before we go, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that our sponsor, Joffrey's Coffee and Tea Company, who has the best coffee on the planet, actually has a new subscription box service. This is fantastic. This way, you're never going to run out of coffee. Right? They say that our freshly roasted coffee is delivered to your home or office on your schedule. Subscribe to one of our 3 specialty coffees collections. Every month, you'll receive a curated selection of 3 bags of coffee for your collection. And they have different subscription levels here. They're 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. So it'll come every month for either 3, 6, or 12 months. And they're each a 3-bag collection. So the first one here, which I'm sure a lot of us here would like, is the Disney Signature Coffee Collection. Here you can relive your most memorable Disney moments with a monthly rotation of 3 of our specialty coffee blends inspired by the Disney parks and resorts. So that's 3 bags of the official Disney coffee, and that'll rotate every month. So you won't get the same coffee every month. Second is the flavored coffee collection. This is where you get a rotation of 3 of the delicious artesian roasted coffees. These are things such as the Jamaican Me Crazy and the Biscoffee, the flavored kind of coffees. Again, they will rotate each month, so you won't get the same one every 2 months in a row. And the third one here, this is the sleeper box, in my opinion, the Roastmasters Collection. Here they say you can experience a monthly rotation of 3 special coffees of our Roastmasters hand-picked favorites, including unique and exotic blends from all over the globe. Now, I'll be honest, while I'm a big Disney coffee fan, I'm even an equally passionate Joffrey's coffee fan. And we've had him on the show, and we're going to have him on here again, hopefully in the next, not too long. Chris DeMezzo, the head roast master. Here you get coffees of his choosing. And he has not steered me wrong yet with any coffee questions I've ever had and anything I've ever tasted. So if you enjoy coffee, and maybe you've had the Disney coffee so far, give the Roastmasters Collection a try. Chris DeMezzo knows more about coffee than anybody on the planet. And I stand by that comment. And before we go, I also want to mention that Joffrey's has a brand new coffee out. I've not tried this yet, but I'm going to order it here in the next day or so. It's the Columbia. It's a new micro-lot coffee, so there's not going to be a lot of this going around. So if you want to try this, if you're into Colombian coffee. Now, the micro-lot coffee is very exclusive. There's not usually a lot of it around, thus the word micro in it. But the Joffrey's description for this coffee says, discovered this exquisite coffee from one of the largest coffee-producing countries of the world. This is a Katura coffee type varietal. It's grown at 2,100 feet with an intriguing aroma with a well-balanced acidity. And this is the important part, delicate notes of apricot, grape, and orange. So that's going to be an excellent coffee. I can't wait to try that. That is on my order, and I will be ordering that in a whole bean and grinding it myself for the best flavor. I do sometimes order it pre-ground because I like to have some coffee in the house where if I forget to make it early in the morning, I don't have to break out the bean grinder and wake people up. So just throwing that out there as a little coffee tip for the day. Get some whole bean and then get some pre-ground in case you have people sleeping at the house. So if you're interested in the Joffrey subscription plan or in this new Micro-Lot Columbia coffee, go to Joffreys.com. You can sign it up there. Oh, by the way, right now, and it could go away at any time, so I would do this soon. If you go to the Joffreys.com website, there'll be a pop-up that'll come up. If you sign up for their newsletter, their VIB newsletter, you'll get 25% off your next order. They'll send you a special code and an email. And then after using that coupon, you have over $50, the shipping will also be free. So that's almost like getting a bag or two of coffee free. So once again, I'd like to thank Joffrey's Coffee and Tea for sponsoring ResortLoop.com. Everybody, I'm Tim Scott. Thanks for joining us. I hope everybody's getting excited here. Things are opening up. Hope everyone's still staying safe. Do what you have to do to make yourself comfortable. I think on the next show, I might talk about some things I've been watching on Disney+. Watching a couple different shows there that are pretty entertaining. So maybe I'll post that over there, Looper Nation Live. Our Facebook page, Looper Nation Live. If you go over there, we'll continue the conversation. We'll talk about Disney World opening up, Disneyland's opening up. It's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. I think I've said that before. Everybody, thanks for joining us. Tim Scott, Facebook, Twitter, the website, ResortLoop.com, the website, ResortLoopTravel.com. If you'd like to phone in and open for a show or a question or anything you want to reach me so I can hear your voice, that's area code 414-WDW-LOOP. Thanks, everybody. Please go out there and share the gateway to the magic. We'll see you, everybody. Vacation memories will stay with you and your family for a lifetime. The Resort Loop Travel Group was created with this in mind. Our fee-free services will relieve you of the stress and confusion of finding and booking the best vacation at the best price. After booking, we will continue to monitor for ways to save you even more on your vacation. We will check for any upcoming packages and discounts to save you as many vacation dollars as possible. Resort Loop Travel Group, gateway to your magical vacation memories. Get a quote, or for more information, visit ResortLoopTravelGroup.com.